first of all, how are you doing? Like, were you injured? Just tell me how you're doing.
I'm doing all right. My back is a little sore, but other than that, I'm, you know, pretty relatively okay considering the circumstances. Still kind of taking it all in, and it doesn't really feel quite real. But otherwise, yeah, I'm doing all right. No one died, so grateful for that, and
Yeah,
grateful for my own life for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And everyone is grateful for that. Can you take us through what happened? Maybe just start from as the plane is approaching. Tell us what happened.
So upon approaching the runway, there was I didn't seem to think anything felt off. Um, like physically with the plane. There was no warning that anything was wrong either. So to my knowledge, or as far as going in, I thought we were just about to land and everything was going to be completely fine. And then so it wasn't until we actually like wheels hit the ground that anything was off, and then obviously that was just when it all kind of happened. Um, so we hit the ground,
Mm-hmm.
start to go on the right side of the plane, slid on the right side for a little bit, and then ended up upside down, hanging by the seatbelts.
So were you on the right side of the plane or the left side of the plane?
I was on the left side of the plane, so when it went on its right side, I was the left side window. When it went on its right side, I was on the high side, if that makes sense,
It
the
does.
suspended side.
And so this all happened. We're looking at some of the video that we've seen of it making that landing. This all happened what, in the matter of how many seconds do you think?
It was quick, and we didn't really slide that long. If you watch the video, we don't go that far, and it's not like we're sliding for 30 seconds even. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how long we are, but it felt pretty quick, like we hit the ground, and then it almost kind of felt like we were gonna, and I think it's mostly just where I was positioned on the plane, but it almost felt like we hit the ground and we're taking off again, just because I was getting like suspended in the air. And yeah, I mean, we hit the ground. It was very shaky, and then next thing you know, we were just hanging upside down. It happened really quickly from start to finish.
And so then you're hanging upside down. Then what did you do?
Yeah, hanging upside down, and then me and the woman next to me, we unbuckled pretty quickly, like almost like the second we stopped. We kind of realized what happened, realized we weren't seriously injured, unbuckled, and kind of both suspended ourselves, lowered ourselves to the floor, which was the ceiling. And um when we were out of our seatbelts, they announced like stay in your seat, stay in your seat. We were already out, and so anyone that hadn't already unbuckled was still just sitting there suspended until further notice. I think that was mostly to get the doors open first before people started getting out of their seat. I would imagine that's why, but I can't confirm that. And so yeah, so there were people suspended, and then when they got the doors open and they told people to unbuckle, then that's when the people who were already unbuckled started to help those people get out of their seats and kind of like fall to the roof, I guess you could say.
So this is interesting. So your first instinct once that happened and you were upside down was, I got to get out of this seat. I like you
Oh,
didn't you were
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not want to be in that seat any longer than I had to be.
And
I
then
didn't want to be on the plane. I didn't want to be on the plane any longer than I had to be. But there was a minute or two of like waiting, what it felt like waiting for instruction.
And so, Pete, can you tell me, like, how long was that period of you coming out of your seat? And did that hurt when you kind of had to kind of sort of fall to the ceiling, which was now the floor, or like,
I was able to kind of just like worm my way
yeah?
down. I didn't. People were like getting unbuckled by someone else and sort of falling down. I was able to. I was able to. I'm not really sure how, to be honest, but I made it without, you know, safely.
And then how long while you're there, and so you're out of your seat, some people are still hanging upside down, how long did you have to wait for them to open the doors?
That part is hard to gauge how long. I'd say like at least a minute, maybe 2 minutes.
And then were you helping people get off, or how were you, what were you doing?
I was on the window side, so the woman next to me like helped a couple people like out of the position they were in, like the hanging position, helped them kind of lower down, not very like it's not a very graceful thing. It's like kind of a half fall. Um so I was just kind of on the window side and couldn't really assist too much. And then yeah, I mean, and then once everyone was out, people were just started getting off the plane. I was one of the last. Where I was seated was kind of odd. I think there was a front entrance, a back entrance, or a front exit, a back exit, and a middle exit, and I was somewhere in between the middle and the back. So I was one of the last people to actually get off the plane, just where I was sitting.
What were you thinking then? I
So
mean, when you're one of the last people, you probably what were you thinking?
I mean, I wasn't. I just wanted to get off. I was just happy to touch down and get off, and thankfully the flight crew did an amazing job, and as well as everyone on board. As I was getting out of the plane, there were just two guys just lowered me down, helped me get out of the plane safely, and I'm sure they were probably one of the first people off the plane, and they were just helping everyone get out. So it was really cool to see like no, it didn't feel like a every man for themselves kind of situation. It was cool to see everyone work together and get off the plane in a orderly, logistic, and safe way.
And then how soon did you see first responders? How soon were they there? Were they there by the time you got off the plane or soon after? Or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by the time I got off the plane, they were already spraying it.
Wow. And so you're standing there, and what are you thinking as you've gotten off this plane and you're looking at it upside down on the runway?
I definitely just confused and jostled, but I managed to stay pretty calm, I feel like, through the whole experience. Um, it was really windy, so we were huddled. Everyone kind of moved 100, 200 yards from the plane to a fire truck that was there, and we were kind of huddled at using it as protection from the wind. And then about like 3 minutes, I really don't have a good gauge on how long this number is, but I'd say 3 minutes, there was an explosion on the plane. Thankfully, everyone was far enough away that didn't hurt anyone, because that would have been really serious if there were still people in the plane.
Yeah. So you heard this kind of explosion. Did you have a sense of where it was happening or?
Saw it too. It was just right in the middle of the plane. I don't know what it was, or yeah, I mean, it was just a big boom in the middle of the plane.
Wow. And then how long, what happened next in terms of there was some there were some emergency medical personnel that arrived?
Yeah, so people that were injured got on ambulances immediately, and then the rest of everyone got on buses, and they kind of took us to a safe area, and then did some more checkups for people that felt like they needed attention. There were other ambulances and paramedics there, making sure the rest of the people who didn't need immediate attention were okay.
And so what's it been like from last night to today? I mean,
it's been weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's felt pretty surreal. I'm still not sure if it's even hit me yet. Some of it doesn't even feel real, and I am just waiting on my baggage, waiting on my passport. I live in the U.S. My passport is on the plane somewhere still. Hopefully it's not melted. I'm still kind of just in limbo in the same clothes that I wore on the plane. So hoping to hear back soon, but I'm really not sure how long that's going to be.
so let me ask you a little bit about that, Pete, and I will let you go because I'm sure you've had a long day. But so now you're at a hotel. Are you at a hotel near the airport? You're at a hotel. So are you kind of, what have they
I'm
told
at
you?
I'm at an Airbnb.
Okay. And so you were
Um,
able to leave the
they've
airport area. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. They've told us I got picked up by friends who were already here in
Mm-hmm.
Toronto and staying at an Airbnb, so that I'm here. Um, they've told us that they're doing the investigation, and when the investigation is over, we will be able to get our belongings or what exists of our belongings. And we don't know how long it's going to be, which is crazy.
What have you been talking with friends, with family about this? I mean, they must just be so thankful that
Yeah,
you're okay.
yeah, absolutely. My phone is going crazy at the moment with just texts from loved ones and people back home. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be here and grateful for how well the passengers acted and how well the flight crew responded, and that everyone was able to get off the plane, with only a couple people in serious condition. Otherwise, at the end of the day, everybody's going to be fine, which is pretty insane to say after a plane crashing and flipping over on fire.
It really is. Pete, appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Pete,
Thank you again.
Pete Koukov speaking to us from Toronto.